wife openly has a least favorite child. Can't deal with her. Real posts, real people, real problems. It's tea time, so grab your favorite cup of tea or whatever it is you like to drink and let's spill the tea and clean it up. Let's go. What's up? I'm Tonya. For those of you who are new to the channel, one half of TNL.J Visions Relationship Coaching, and today we got another one. So, we got a poster's wife who openly has a least favorite child, and he just can't deal with her no more. So, we're going to get into this post, and then we'll clean it up. All right, so we've been married for around 13 years and have 3 daughters, ages 11, 8, and 6. Our oldest is 11, has a mild form of autism, what used to be called Asperger's. She's a very easygoing kid. She does what she's asked, when she's asked, rarely asks for anything, and is content in her own bubble. She's introverted and has the most in common with her mom. She's homeschooled like her mom was and really thrives in that setup. Okay. Our youngest is 6. She's 6, has high needs autism. She attends year-round special education and elopement risk. It's a full-time stress and struggle. That word just don't want to work with me, okay? But she's also a sweet and affectionate child. Our middle daughter, age 8, it's something else entirely. She's neurotypical and by her own request goes to public schools. I don't know where she get it from, but she turns everything into a negotiation and will argue to the end. She constantly wants something bought for her, done for her, or to be taken somewhere. If you tell her she can pick one thing at the store, she'll pick 3 and try to make you feel guilty for saying no. Is this the least favorite child? It is, I'm guessing. Okay, let's keep going. She's extremely extroverted, always with friends or at someone's house in the neighborhood. Anytime she has her iPad, she FaceTimes her best friend from school and could stay on the call for hours if we let her. My wife tried to homeschool her too, but the constant arguing and negotiating made it impossible. She begged to go to public school, just finished her first year, and absolutely loved it. She also enjoys pushing her older sister's button and getting a reaction. Ugh. The interesting part, this the interesting part. We ain't got to that yet. Okay. The interesting part is that when she's at school or with friends, parents, she gets glowing reports. No issues, no complaints. And when I'm parenting solo, while my wife is away, things tend to go more smoothly. I'm more direct, I don't negotiate, and I don't offer second chances. It's not about being harsh, but if you give her an inch, she'll take a mile. I know the type. When both of us are home, the dynamics shift. My wife often gets drawn into long verbal battles with her, takes the disobedience personally, and eventually calls me in once it's already escalated. By then, our daughter is past the point of reasoning. No consequences or logical redirection seem to work. It could start with something as small as time to brush your teeth and spiral into a full meltdown because she decides she wants a snack instead. Ooh. Even after I diffuse the situation and move on, my wife sometimes bring it back up minutes later with a comment like, "I can't believe you." Mm. It feels like she's trying to win the argument after the fact. When our middle daughter went camping with her best friend for the 4th of July, my wife came through the door afterwards and yelled, "Middle is gone." She frequently makes indirect comments implying that our middle daughter is difficult or always causing problems. I can't help but to feel like that kind of labeling only makes things worse. When I offer gentle suggestions, my wife often shuts them down. She'll say things like, "You don't know what she does to me," or "She behaves better for you because you're not with her as much." Has anyone else deal with a dynamic like this between a parent and a child, or been co-parents and found any strategies that help reset the relationship? TLDR. My wife really struggles with our middle child, who is strong-willed and argumentative. She does better for me in other environments, but things often escalate when the two of them interact at home. Mm. So I definitely got my opinion, but let's get into some of the commenters, what they think before we clean up this spilled tea. The first commenter says, I recommend that you and your wife see a family therapist. This could not be more classic when one or more siblings have special needs and one or more children do not. Your daughter is seeking attention from her mother, and even negative attention is better than none. All of mom focus is on the other two kids, and the other two kids are not experiencing ENT age appropriate behavior. So, being asked to make herself small so mom can focus on the others just escalates her behavior. You know, your child can behave appropriately. In fact, she's going to be an overachiever looking for all of that external validation from others that she's not getting at home. I would get you to adults in therapy and get this kid in therapy. Yeah. ETA. My good friend's nephew killed himself when he was a junior in high school. His little sister was born with pretty profound Down syndrome and had many surgeries and cancers. His parents were focused on almost entirely on the little girl and missed his signs of acting out and seeking attention. Easy to deal with him. And shot himself and burnt the house down. I wish that was the only similar story I'm personally aware of. So that's deep. Yeah, I do. Yeah, a lot of kids do act out when they feel like attention, they're not getting enough attention um, from a parent, and when the other kid, they don't understand that the children with autism require so much more attention. So if both parents were like equally paying attention, it seems to me that the mom is doing the grunt work on the children with autism, more than, if the dad put in just as much as the mom did, then maybe she would have the time to, put more attention towards the middle child, the child that's acting out, if this is the case. However, she's also, you know, she's doing some things that would make a parent like, want to spank that butt. And I know people think spankings or poppings is like abusive in some case, but this kind of thing would definitely frustrate a parent, and especially by her being a parent of a child with autism already. That's a lot. Okay, so your ETA is heartbreaking. How are your good friends living, family members doing now? If providing some of the aftermath is too much to detail, that's understandable. I ask because I hope something good came out of this, of something so horrible. And this right here was then replying to that post of the friend committing suicide, the friend's child. Not so much of the overall post from the commenter. Okay, the next comment, I can confirm this is likely the issue. I had a coworker once who was a nice and stable, smart, and hardworking person with a disabled sibling. Described to me the pain of never having any attention paid to her. Her parents were fully always involved in stabilizing the other kids, and they were so happy that one of their kids was capable because they had nothing left. So they just left her to raise herself. If there's one comment in this thread that OP needs to read and reply to, is this one. Looking through the comments, OP has chosen to reply to, I get the distinct impression, but he's looking for praise more so than actual actionable advice. When I read through his comments to date, I felt a ton of resentment towards his neurological daughter. I live to say I'm reading too much into it, but he might mean I love to say I'm reading too much into it, but I really don't think that's the case. He sounded disappointed that she was a perfect little angel at school, so it'd be hard for them to get help from said school. I feel sorry for this kid. They don't have either parent in their corner, and OP doesn't give her a fraction of grace he gives his wife. The same wife that the biggest problem here by a country mile. Okay. We'll do one more before we clean it up. All right, 100% this. I was the other child, the least favorite. I was a huge extrovert as a kid, was in every sport, theater, and other extracurricular activities. But years of trauma sent me inwards. I've unfortunately had several periods of depression as a young adult and often struggle socially. When the depression was borderline unbearable, I was reminded that I was never worthy of love, which had me led, which had led me to wanting to X myself. My mother also, although has not apologized herself, herself has tried to make more time for me as an adult, but the damage has been done. Okay, well, I seen a sermon today that spoke to suicide, and how when people commit suicide, they want to take the pain away, but you're not actually taking the pain away, loved ones. So if we can deal with the actual making us feel this way, then our life can get better. We shouldn't be thinking about Xing ourselves out or killing ourselves. So to anybody who's watching this who feels suicidal, your life is not worth an issue or a problem that you can fix. Okay, you can't come back from committing suicide, but you can fix the problem so that you can move on. Pay attention, figure out what it is that's making you feel this way, that you want to X yourself out of, and pray about that, work on that, and not Xing yourself out, okay? You are needed. Everybody is here on this earth for a purpose. God put you here for a reason. So, number one, parenting don't just happen in a vacuum. It's more like a mirror. Every child pulls something different out of us. The middle child, strong will, might be touching on something deeper in a mom that feels like a loss of control and disrespect. I know I had to talk to my sister about this not too long ago because she wonders why her and my mom, get into it a little more than a lot than me and like my mom. And I'm like, we different, everybody's handled different. We got two different attitudes, two different personalities. So, people, you got to deal with people in a different way at times. So that's it. So the mom might be feeling disrespected. This is an 8-year-old child who's like really talking junk and like really being what's the word I'm looking for? Just really misbehaving and out of line, and sometimes need to be put back in place. Okay. What I would do is just, ask yourself what does the behavior that she's doing, the middle child is doing, bring up in me that makes me feel so triggered. Okay, because you might be personalizing the behavior instead of parenting through it. Number two, is it favoritism or is it compatibility? This isn't just favoritism, it's a compatible, pliant, introverted. The youngest needs constant care from the autism, but the middle child disrupts the flow questions the rules, and challenges control. And some parents, especially while she's present. Okay, she's the difficult one, or I can't deal with her in front of other people and her. It's painful. Okay, and even if it's indirectly, it's planting deep emotional roots, and those things stick with a child. Children become what we repeatedly say about them. So the labels become internalized narratives. So we want to be careful what we say about our kids, whether that be in front of them or indirectly. Okay. There's clearly some resentment brewing up. The wife feels overwhelmed, maybe even unseen. The husband claims an effective approach may unintentionally highlight her struggles. Instead of team parenting, it sounds like a tag team parenting, like, okay, you go, or like a double dutch type, jumping in, jump out, you go. Only one step in when the other is, like burnt out, instead of catching that thing before the burnout. That's just like a headache or any type of pain you go to. You want to take that medicine before. If you feel just a little bit of pain, you want to go ahead and take that pain pill before it escalates. Because then when it gets too hard, like the pain gets too painful, it's too late to take the pill and expect for it to stop right then and there. You can still take it, but I mean, you done went through the pain, so it's just like that. Okay, so instead of tag teaming that thing out, take turns, or not take turns, but be there for each other at the same time. Because obviously the middle child doesn't really listen to the mom, so dad, you may need to step in more often if you have her ear. Normally the one who have their ear, have their heart, is the one that they're going to listen to. Okay. So she's saying things like, you don't know what she does to me. That tells me this is no longer just about the child. It's about emotional weariness, lack of support, and it's possible that there's unresolved issues between the couple. So the 8-year-old is not broken. She's a negotiator. She's expressive, social, and emotionally smart. Instead of trying to fix her personality, she needs structure, consistent boundaries, and affirmations that she's loved, even when she's being challenged, okay, or when she's being challenging. Let her know that she's still loved. All right, and mom, she just may be experiencing burnout or emotional overload. She raising 3 children, 2 with varying level of needs, and possibly feels emotional depleted. When you constantly parent in survival mode, it's hard to show up with grace, even from your own child. Here's a gentle reminder: her resentment might not be about the child, it may be about how unseen she feels in her role. All right, and so to clean this thing up even more, here's my final thought. Visionaries, here's what I want you to hear today. In parenting and in marriage, unresolved tension don't disappear. It just shifts. Anything that's not resolved or swept under the rug, it don't disappear. It just shifts. The middle child isn't the problem. She's the mirror. And right now, mom is starting, staring into parts of herself that feel out of control, unheard, or unseen. And let's be honest, it's hard to give grace when you empty, like your cup is empty. It's hard to be gentle when you feel disrespected, but kids don't just need discipline, they need understanding. And I'm going to stop right here, and I'm going to call my husband and see if he can chime in. Let me see. Let's call Mike. Let's see what he think about this subject. Okay. Call her hubby.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
What's up?
You are on tea time. And yes. And I wanted you to chime in and give a little bit of your opinion on this story. So just to break it down a little bit, it's pretty long. I'll break it down though. So um, there's a husband who's complaining about his wife having a least favorite child, pretty much. So they got 3 children. 2 of them require special attention, pretty much, and the middle child is misbehaving, kind of bad. She talks back. She negotiates. The dad said when they go to the store, they tell her to get one thing. She pick up 3. Yeah. But when she in school, she real good. When she with a friend, the parents say she being real good. So she get the good reports. Um, but again, the husband is saying that he's pretty much through with his wife because of the way her middle child is the least favorite.
Well, she don't like the mama don't like the middle child because they be getting in confrontation like this.
Yes.
I mean, what people say. A lot of times, see, people don't. Sometimes it's a natural effect, especially with a woman and a girl.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it be sometimes. And naturally, she might be seasons where you don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it ain't natural for you to like your kids.
She's 8.
You love them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you like, but I don't like it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, these new kids are bad these days. And depends on the way depends on how jazzed at the mouth. A lot of women just can't take it. And see, your daddy can take it more because the daughter be daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
And if you're not being the one really disciplining the kids, then you probably the one that think the kid is good.
Okay. Yeah, she listens to dad.
Yeah.
She listens to everything dad say, but not mom.
I guess it might be mom delivery too. They just don't get along.
Yeah. Okay.
But that ain't no reason to end the relationship though.
Right. Yeah, it seemed like there's problems inside the relationship that doesn't have anything to do with their situation.
Yeah, it's more to it than I mean that.
Yeah, that's just surface level.
Yeah. And I think if actually the man the one that gets to him, he's the one that needs to step up before it gets it all that bickering and arguing between the mom and the daughter too.
Yeah, he could definitely step in, and that's what I was saying. My final thought is kind of like,
more attentive.
Yeah, it's kind of like they tag teaming it and not in it together.
Yeah, yeah.
So when the dad, since the dad have her heart in her ear, that he could stop a lot of that talk and all the way she treat the mom by stepping in.
Yeah.
When things go left. So
yeah, because whoever got the kid's heart, and more than likely gonna have their ear.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for your insight, baby. That was wonderful.
All right, baby.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Okay. Bye bye. All right. So there was Lamont, my baby, with the wonderful advice. Okay. So let's finish, cleaning it up. Mom and dad, y'all got to get on the same page. Okay. Privately, though, not in front of the kids. On the same page, get a space where y'all feel comfortable. Sit down and talk. Create some boundaries, for the kids, especially for the middle child. Do some things together, get on the same page. Because when 2 parents are unified in love and boundaries, the child feels safety, not just correction. So before we label a child difficult, let's check. Is the real issue their behavior or our reaction to their behavior? Now, I can't front. Parenting is hard. We have 6 grown children now. Parenting is hard. Marriage is harder, but healing, that starts when we stop fighting each other and start fighting for each other. Okay? And this has been another tea time. What you got to drink before we go? I got coffee, and it's good. Let me just sip my little coffee. And this has been another tea time. See you next week, same time, same place. Until then, I'ma just sip my little tea. Remember, comment, like, share. We need to help these posters. Okay? So share your comment in hopes that we can help this poster. We hope you see it, poster.